Hello, everyone, and welcome to Teaching in Room 9, the Readiness.
Shapes are everywhere we look.
But good job. Now, go ahead and touch your throat right here and see how they feel.
And say to ourselves to be positive.
Lemurs are found on the island of Madagascar.
For one, and the numbers get bigger as we go across to the right.
Reset, that means taking a deep breath. It may mean counting to 10.
Today we're going to start with a freestyle stroke. So I'm going to put my arms out, and I'm going to...
All righty, are you ready to learn? Let's go! Hey, you know what I was doing? I was writing down some of these amazing sight words that I've learned since I've been in Teaching in Room 9, the region's largest classroom. I am Dr. Sanders, and in our classroom, we can go anywhere and do anything while we are learning all this amazing stuff that is going on in our community. Oh, I almost forgot. But remember what I always say. It doesn't matter if you're 2 or 102. We can have some fun. F-U-N, fun. We can have some fun while learning. I work at Adams Elementary School and the St. Louis Public Schools. And let's get this day started. We are going to start with some shout outs. My first shout out goes to Coltrane. Hello, Coltrane. How are you doing today? Let's spell Coltrane. C-O-L-T-R-A-N-E. C-O-L-T-R-A-N-E. Hi, Coltrane. Jaden. Hey, Jaden, how those comics treating you? Okay, let's spell Jaden, capital J-A-D-Y-N. J-A-D-Y-N. All right, my next shout out goes to Tarek. Hi, Mr. Tarek, how are you doing, sir? Let's spell Tarek, capital T-E-R-E-K. T-E-R-E-K. Hi, Mr. Tarek. And my last shout out for today goes to Jason. Hi, Jason. What are you doing? Oh, you're having fun? That's right. Let's spell Jason, capital J-A-Y-S-O-N. J-A-Y-S-O-N. Shout outs are done, but now it's time to go on in our learning adventure. Let's go!
Like at home, it's important that we think of safety first. This is clearly not the way. You can't run and swing your arms in the middle of the hallway. It might hurt you and others around you. Remember, swinging your arms and running can be risky for everyone. To stay safe, walk with your hands by your side and take slow steps. Great job! Let's keep everyone safe together. Time for a quick review. Remember, swinging your arms and running can be risky for everyone. To stay safe, 1, walk with your hands by your sides. 2, take slow steps with your feet on the ground. Great job! Let's keep everyone safe together.
Hi there, Room 9. It's me, Mrs. Williams, the Woodland Creature teacher. When I'm not here teaching and learning with you in Room 9, I'm teaching and learning at Windsor Elementary, where I teach first grade. So hi, and lots of love to all my Windsor C1 family. Today, we're going to be exploring sink or float. Have you ever gone to a pond or a lake and tossed something in? Maybe a stick or a rock. What happened? What did you notice? Some things tend to sink to the bottom, and some things stay on the surface of the water. But why? This has something to do with density. Everything around you is made up of tiny little pieces. We'll call them particles. When the particles are more closely packed together or more dense, things tend to sink. When the particles are more spread out or less dense, items tend to float. Let's take a look and see what that looks like in real life. I have 2 spoons here. They're about the same size and the same shape. And we know that they do the same job, right? They help us to eat. Let's see what happens when we put them into the water. That one sunk to the bottom. But let's see what this one does. Oh, that one floats. So what do we know? If we think about the particles in these two, which one has the more dense or more closely packed together particles? Yeah, it's going to be the metal spoon. The plastic spoon is less dense and has the particles more spread out. Let's take a look at a few more items. This set will be really interesting. Here we have a baseball. What's your prediction? Will it sink to the bottom or will it float? Oh, that one's floating. Here's a marble. Let's see what it does. Oh, right to the bottom. Here we have a pom-pom. What's your guess? Oh, I thought it was going to sink, but it didn't. It is, what do you think, more dense or less dense? It's less dense. The particles are more spread out than in the marble. The baseball and the pom-pom both float. So we'll put these two on the less dense side and our marble on the more dense side. This time, I have a couple things that I think you probably use a lot. Here's a crayon and here's a pencil. What's your prediction for the pencil? More dense or less dense? Oh, it floats, so it's less dense. What do you think about the crayon? More dense. So it must mean that size doesn't necessarily have to do with how dense something is. We can tell that the pencil is a lot longer than the crayon, but it is less dense than the crayon. What's your prediction for our car? More dense or less dense? Sink or float? Oh, that guy's pretty dense. All right, so thinking back about our items, which were the more dense? Which will sink to the bottom? Yeah, our car, our metal spoon, our marble, and crayon. Which were less dense? Which items will float? Our pencil, baseball, whoops, there we go. Our pom-pom, and our plastic spoon. All right, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you had fun learning about the science of sink or float. Sending lots of love and a big smile. See you next time.
Have you ever been to the St. Louis Art Museum before? Let's visit together. What will you see?
Art Museum! Wow! This is so cool. Look at this. Look at that section. Come on, guys, I can't wait.
Hi.
Welcome to the St. Louis Art Museum. We are so excited to have you here. So how many of you have been here before? You want to raise your hands if you've been here before? No? Well, this is great. I'm glad that you were here to spend this time with us today. We are going to spend some time drawing together and playing in the galleries, and we'll get to see some really cool artworks. So this museum is kind of special because we have artworks from all across the world and artworks that span thousands of years. So some that are like thousands of years old and some that have been created not that long ago.
True. You guys can do a dance in the museum every now and then. Yeah.
Shake the groove. It's 9 to 5, 9 to 5. Look at the 90s.
Yep, we can shoot everything.
So you've gotten to explore the armor in this space, and we're going to pay attention to the helmets that are in this case right over here. So helmets are a type of technology because they were designed to help people. So I want you to look at these helmets, and I want you to take just like a minute to explore and see, look at the shapes, the design of them, and pick which one is your favorite. Which one would you choose to be your helmet, okay? You're choosing your favorite. How 4 seconds
Because the eye part is so small, like a tight space. You know how when you squint your eyes?
All right, when I count to 3, I want to see you pose holding your shield, okay? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, if you want to do a really quick drawing of it, you can. I see know a little bit about it being a puppet. So somebody was wondering what was inside, right? So if you were to lift up the other mummy, this is what you might find inside. So they all probably are a little different, but if you squat down, you can look, do you see under there?
Yeah,
So there's more hieroglyphs and stuff under the lid. Like you can see on the screen there the different layers that the body would be wrapped in. So when we bury people today too, we still do things to kind of help the body preserve. And so it would be wrapped in different layers of materials. And then we have, you mentioned the artist painting all of these hieroglyphs and images as to mean different things. I wanted to say thank you for coming on this tour with us today and sharing all your drawings and your thoughts and your stories. So we wanted to do one quick reflection to think about what the experience was like today, what are some of our favorite things, some of the things that you might remember. So we're gonna do, it's kind of like a poem. So first thing I want you to do is think of one word to describe your experience today. 1, 2, 3.
Discovery.
excited, memorable, exciting, amazing, breathtaking, awesome, fun,
Crazy. That's the only word I could think of, but yay!
Probably the mummy. Yeah, the mummy. Yeah, the mummy. Yeah. Totally. It's super fun. And you can learn about history. Yeah. And that's the most important thing. Yeah. Yes. I love the arts and the stories that the art told. Teaching in Room 9!
Thank you for visiting the St. Louis Art Museum with us. What did you notice on our visit?
Hi everybody, and welcome to Room 9. My name is Miss St. Louis, and I'm a teacher at Rogers Elementary School in the Melville School District, and we are located in South St. Louis County. Today, I'm here to share a book with you, so let's see what we're going to be reading today. I have a new one for you, and today's story is called Biz is a Whiz, and that is our title, the title of our story. We know that every book has an author and an illustrator. Do you remember the difference between an author and an illustrator? That's right. An author is the person who writes the words to a story, and an illustrator illustrates the pictures. Now, we know that an author and illustrator could be two different people, or they could be the same person. In this story, our author is Mikey Wren. He wrote the words. And our illustrator is Donald L. Hill, and he drew all of the pictures. So let's dive on in to see how Biz is a Whiz. I want to start a business, but don't know how. Hi, my name is Biz. I will show you how. Biz is a Whiz. First, let's start with a business plan. Get your paper and pen in hand. Biz is a Whiz. Next, what is your big idea? Make sure it is grand. I know a great idea. We can build a lemonade stand. Biz is a Whiz. Have you ever built a lemonade stand? You had the same idea. Now that we know your idea, who will you market to? Who will buy your lemonade? Family and friends is a great answer to my question. Ask everyone and have courage. Do not be afraid. Let's go get paid. Biz is a Whiz. Now to the store to buy lemons, sugar, and ice. We must not forget to check the price. Biz is a Whiz. Pour the water, add the lemons, stir in the sugar, and grab a cup. Now we can put the stand up. People are coming from left to right. Let's fill them all up. Biz is a Whiz. Finally, it's time to add the money we made. Then subtract what we spent at the store. We sold out of our lemonade. Now it is time to make more. Biz is a Whiz, and he is a Whiz at Biz. The end. So what do we know about our character here, Biz? That's right. We know that our character Biz here really likes to plan his ideas. We know that he has really big ideas he wants to put into action to help the people around him and to start his own business. If you could start your own business, what kind of business would you want to start? Ooh, that sounds like a really good idea. So just like we did here with Biz is a Whiz, we had to come up with a plan. What would be the first step in your plan for your business? Ooh, you're off to a great start. See what you can come up with. What could you do? Can you also become a Whiz at Biz? You'll never know until you try. Thanks for joining us today, guys, as we read another story, and we'll see you back here soon to read again in Room 9. Bye, everyone.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to our amazing classroom. Did you enjoy that book? Yes. Do you know it was written by a teenager? Ooh, what was your favorite part? Okay. Making that money? Okay. All right. I have a question for you. Here you go. Put those thinking caps on again. Everybody say, What does the author do in a book?
Writes the story.
Yes, the author writes the words in the story. And what does the illustrator do?
Draws the pictures.
Correct, the illustrator draws the pictures. Man, you all are super smart. But I'll see you in a bit.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Room 9. My name is Miss St. Louis, and I'm a teacher at Rogers Elementary School in the Melville School District, and we are located in South St. Louis County. Today, I'm here to teach a movement lesson for children of all ages, so let's get ready to get moving. Let's start today by warming up our body. We're going to begin by shaking our head yes, and no, and maybe so. And we can warm up our arms with some chicken wing flaps and some nice big scissors. All right, now that we're warmed up, let's dive on in. Today you can see I'm using a chair. We're going to do all kinds of exercises that you could do while sitting in a chair. And if you don't have a chair, you can do these sitting on the floor as well. So we're going to start today by doing some twists. I'm going to put one hand on the back of my chair reaching and the other on my leg, and I'm going to just pull just a little bit so I can start to feel that bend and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's switch, reaching across to the other knee. My other hand goes behind, and we're going to twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now to deepen that twist, I'm going to bring my elbow all the way to my knee, holding at the back again, reaching across, counting to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Sit back up, and 1 to the other side. Reach across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on back up nice and tall. Our next pose is called the cat pose. So for this, I'm going to put both hands on my knees. I'm going to bring my chin to my chest, and I'm going to arch my back. If you want, you can even add a meow sound just like a cat. Meow. And relax. Now to go the opposite way, it's called a cobra. We're going to bring our hands behind us, and we're going to lift our chin up to the ceiling, pushing our stomach out, just like a cobra. And if you want, you could stick your tongue out and make a snake sound like a and come on back. The next one is a butterfly, and this one can be a little bit tricky, so there's a few different ways. You can put your feet together out in front of you, and if you can even bring them up onto the chair. I know that my chair is a little small, so I'm going to keep them right here. I'm going to hold my feet and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, the next one, we're going to reach towards those toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and to continue with that bend, I want you to bring your legs out forwards and reach for those toes. And if you need to, set them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on up nice and tall. Now we're going to end with a challenge. We're going to start by lifting one leg up, and we're going to hold it up for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it down. Let's do the last one. Hold it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the big one. We're going to hold them both up together for 5 seconds. Are you ready? Bring them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and bring them down. Now, chair yoga is an excellent thing to do to practice at home when you've got a little bit of time, but not a lot of movement. You could even do it in the car. Remember, the goal is to do 60 minutes of exercise every single day, and you could even do it sitting down. So get in those 60 minutes, make sure to drink your water, and we'll see you back here next time in room 9. Bye, everyone.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Hi friends, welcome back to Teaching in Room 9, our region's largest classroom. My name is Julia. I'm a first grade teacher at the Soulard School, and here for Teaching in Room 9, this is our song time. It's important for us to sing songs together because it's a fun way to connect letters and sounds. This song is going to focus on the difference between letters, words, and then how those come together to make sentences. Words are made up of letters and sounds. They blend together to make a word. Words have meaning, they come together to form sentences that we can read and write. Nice job. Again, our song today focused on words and sentences and the difference between them. Kiss your brain, friends. See you next time. Bye.
Great day. This is Candace with the Chaos Kids, and I want to introduce you guys to my friend Xavier. Here's Xavier right here. And so Xavier is such a cool kid. He likes to play basketball, he likes to swim, and he likes chocolate chip cookies. I like chocolate chip cookies too. Do you? So Xavier also is a kid that fidgets a lot, and he moves around a lot, and when he gets directions to go do things, he sometimes does different things because he gets distracted. And so Xavier is always corrected, and he doesn't really like that. And he wants people to learn how to be patient with him. Can you say patient? Patient is a skill. It stands for pause and think, inhale, exhale, now talk or now tap out. And so we tap out when we can't talk because we don't want to hurt our feelings or hurt anyone else's feelings, that we don't want to be rude. And so Xavier wants people to know that his feelings are very important. And he wants people to know that he doesn't mean to make choices where sometimes he forgets things. He just really needs people to be patient with him. I'm sure sometimes you need people to be patient with you too. So I want you to try the patience skill. I want you to pause and think, inhale, exhale, now talk or now tap out. And I want you to let an adult know when you try it to see how it works. You guys have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.
I'm writing down all the words that I remember from this episode, from this amazing learning adventure. But now it is time for us to get out of room 9. But we get to spell our favorite word. And what's our favorite word? 9. Let's spell 9. N-I-N-E. 9. Thank you for being in Teaching in Room 9. Bye-bye.
Teaching in Room 9 is supported in part by Know who to reach out to when you need help. There is hope. Call or text 988.